This is Mr. E 2099, and while I'm sorry to be subjecting you to a bleeding cool article, I feel this is something that we have to talk about. Amazing Spider-Man to be a sitcom like Superior Foes was. Free Comic Book Day 2018 spoilers. Now, this article is by Rich Johnston, so that alone should tell you the journalistic integrity of the article itself, but let's get into the meat of the issue, shall we? It says Free Comic Book Day is coming. One of the books will be an Amazing Spider-Man Infinity Watch. Oh, God, I'm so sick of these fucking events and tie-ins. Which will continue Nick Spencer and Ryan Ottley's first chapter of their Amazing Spider-Man run. And just as Dan Slott did 10 years ago, 10 years on a run. I'm sorry, that should have ended 7 years earlier. They're using it to set out the tenor of their run. Let's see. Get the cover. Not a bad cover. It appears we may be getting a flat share sitcom along the lines of The Liverbirds, The Big Bang Theory, Rise Stamp, Men Behaving Badly, or Spaced. I am so sick of sitcoms like that. I really am. First of all, The Big Bang Theory is not funny. It's not. It's funny to normies. To people who are not into geek culture because it makes them feel like they know things. But to actual people who are into this stuff, it's not funny because it's a ridiculous stereotype. It's... God. Spider-Man should not be a sitcom. It's not a book that's supposed to be about comedy. It's supposed to be about a guy who deals with lots of very serious situations and lots of life and death choices, sometimes through humor, but there are many times when Spider-Man, takes a situation absolutely seriously. Like a book like Superior Foes, where you're kind of making a comedy troupe out of villains, that's something because you're not dealing with the main hero, you're dealing with villains, and it's not really something that's going to hugely affect the continuity of the character. But this, Amazing Spider-Man, the main book, it's totally unsuited for it, in my opinion. I've been reading Spider-Man for over 10 years now. And I gotta say, a lot of the better stuff came from before I got into comics, which really makes me kind of sad that I couldn't be with those runs following them during those great times. But let's move on. And the last page reveal will set the whole thing going. Be warned, we are running it, but we'll have a second big spoiler scene before we get there. It will set up the premise for the ongoing comic, at least initially. And you see in this panel, we have Spider-Man and his roommate, Robbie Robertson, who is his boss at the Daily Bugle. He's one of his best friends and soon to be second-time roommate. I am so sick of this. I am sick of this Marvel and writers turning Spider-Man like he can't get his life together. There have been most of the time where he's had his life together. I mean, he's the tech editor at a newspaper. He should be able to afford his own apartment. It might not be great, but he should have his own space, especially when he has a secret identity to protect. It really seems stupid. Spider-Man is not a 20-something, doesn't know what he wants to do with his life guy. He has been married, even though that's been taken out, and they know we want it back, but they're never going to give it to us. He's had a really good job as a teacher. He ran his own company. He should, be on his own. He shouldn't have to have a roommate, especially a roommate where he has to hide his secret identity from. Right. So we have Peter and Robbie Robertson looking for a new apartment together, and an explanation as to why the rent is so high, even when the city is constantly under attack. That place was even worse than the last one. This is the best we can afford. New York rents are getting crazy. You'd think all the supervillain attacks and alien invasions would put people off living here. Nah, now every time something gets blown up, somebody just opens a pop-up in the Rebel. You tried the ramen place they put at the site of the big X-Men fight? Yeah, insert random X-Men fight here. Nothing can stop the Juggernaut, I hear good things. That is the stupidest name for anything I have ever heard in my entire life, ever. This guy on Reddit is going to be so pleased. I'm not clicking on that link. I'll include a link to the article if you guys want, so you can check out what these links are, but I'm not. Of course, as we say, this is New York in a superhero comic book, so the search is interrupted by battle with Boomerang and friends. We don't know who friends necessarily are. I get you're still new at this, but Boomerang here has a rep for being a real dishonest player, and he has that rep with criminals. Takes a lot. You should all really use Glassdoor or something. Spider-Man doing it. This guy. Hit him hard, people. This is probably a callback to Nick Spencer's run on Superior Foes of Spider-Man. I can't say a lot about that book. I have not read it. I've heard good things about it, but like I said, that's a spin-off book, totally different from the main Spider-Man title. This is a character that should be treated with a lot more respect and taken more seriously, and be used to tell serious stories, not a sitcom from the mid to late 2000s. Yeah, this is a panel from his Superior Foes of Spider-Man days. Skipping past that. And was brilliant, and they're all back in this free comic book day issue. Oh, and have you never looked Marvel up on Glassdoor? It rarely goes well. Again, I'll include the article if you want to click that link. But away from the villains, Peter Parker and Robinson have success in their apartment search with a spider skylight, but it comes with a third flatmate. Why is this guy saying flatmate? This is America. We say apartment. Get with it. And because this is now a flat share, there can be only one person it could be. Oh yes, I said I would do this first. Yeah. Acting like you forgot something in something you're writing is not clever writing, Rich Johnson. There you go. These are the rules of comedy, and it obeys them well. This should not be a comedy. It should. Oh God, I very few words in the English language that can describe how pissed off I am at this, but exacerbated and infuriated come to mind. They're talking about the third roommate, and then they see the other guy come in, and he's tucking a boomerang in his back pocket. Who could it possibly be? Oh, it's Boomerang. Jesus Christ. Sharing for this level of writing is completely what I would expect from Nick Spencer. A superhero comedy where a hero and a villain are sharing a flat. This is not Spider-Man. I'm sorry, Spider-Man has not been Spider-Man for over a decade now. And it's really sad to see because I like that Spider-Man started out as a teenager who didn't know anything and eventually became an adult. He became mature. He grew up along with the people that were reading him. And it's really sad now that they're taking him down to the level of the millennials because they think that's what they want to see. I like a more mature Spider-Man. I like a Spider-Man that has his shit together. I know there's a lot of jokes about the Parker luck, but I like when Spider-Man has things figured out. Maybe not necessarily while dealing with villains, but definitely in his personal life. I feel we're doing a disservice to the character by having him to continuously go through this type of thing. Let's see. Down here we have some write-ups. New creative teams, new series, new direction, new beginnings. Fans will be able to read the first Amazing Spider-Man story from Nick Spencer and Ryan Ottley in the Amazing Spider-Man Guardians of the Galaxy free comic book day issue. Apparently the Guardians are going to be in this. Well, it's probably like a split book, half Spider-Man, half Guardians. And we have the write-up for Amazing Spider-Man number 1. It's a brand new... No, wait a second. Spider-Man's gone big. That's not right either. Spider-Man definitely not that. Yeah, we should hope for that because most of DC's Rebirth issues have been really, really good, and brought the characters back to the way we love them. We should pray that Spider-Man gets a rebirth, but we can't have that because Spider-Man's owned by Marvel, and Marvel doesn't seem to care about the characters that they're writing anymore, as evidenced by the fact that Nick Spencer is on this book at all. But we have Sideways now, and I've actually really been enjoying Sideways. So if you're really disappointed by the way Spider-Man is going, you should definitely pick up DC Sideways. Amazing Spider-Man gets a bigger, brand new series courtesy of Nick Spencer, Secret Empire, in case you've forgotten his crime against comics, and Superior Foes of Spider-Man. The Marvel debut of Ryan Ottley from Invincible. Now, I've heard Invincible has a decent art. I've read it. I don't know if the art I was reading was specifically from Ryan Ottley at the time. I haven't read Invincible in a while, but from the things I've seen from it, it's gotten really good art. So, and from the panels I've seen, this guy can definitely do some good art. It's just a shame that he's going to have to draw Nick Spencer's stories. An alien invasion attacks New York. No surprise there. And the only one who can stop it is Spider-Man. Well, it's a Spider-Man book, so no shit, Nick. But that's far from all you'll find here. A revelation from the past puts Peter Parker's job, relationship, and whole life in jeopardy. When is his personal life not in jeopardy in the new and past run of Spider-Man? His life being in danger from supervillains is something we would expect, but could you let the guy have a life, at all? And if even that's not enough, you'll see a new roommate, new love interest. We don't want new love interest. We want Mary Jane back. We have been screaming this at you for years, and you just refuse to listen. I don't know why. I don't know why this is something that you refuse to do. We will throw money at you if you do this, but from the decisions you've made the past couple of years, you seem to be, opposed to money. You seem opposed to being able to keep your business afloat and actually be profitable. But we don't want new love interests. We want the marriage back. We want Peter and Mary Jane Parker. We want Mayday or Annie. We want, Spider-Man to be a dad. There was a short story that was written in the back of Renew Your Vows called The Earnest Adventures of Spider-Dad. It was this, short, cartoony type of thing. If they just gave us a book of that, we would throw more money at them than Amazing Spider-Man has probably made in the last 4 or 5 years. We are telling you what we want to spend money on, and you refuse to make it. How are you guys running a business like this? This whole thing has just really put me in a foul mood. I'm sorry that I have to, unfortunately, share this mood now with you. Anyway, people were saying that they had hope for Nick Spencer's Spider-Man, and I think that hope should just be ripped off like a Band-Aid. I don't think Nick Spencer is going to treat the character well at all. I think that he might do the same thing he did to Captain America, just in a different type of way. Captain America may never recover from what Nick Spencer did to him. It's going to take a lot. And now that Ta-Nehisi Coates is going to be writing it, as low as the bar that Nick Spencer set for the character, I think Coates might be able to match it. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself on the Captain America here, but I can honestly tell you from what I'm seeing with the way Spencer is going to be handling Spider-Man, that I will not be picking up this book. As much as I love Spider-Man, as much as I want to be reading Amazing Spider-Man, this is not something that I personally, I am not comfortable spending money on this. Anyway, I will definitely still be checking out Chip Zdarsky's Spectacular Spider-Man run, because that's been really good. He's been handling the character the way it's supposed to, and he's been giving him serious stories and serious moments. And, adding light touches of the Spider-Man humor that we know and love. Anyway, I will link this article down in the description of the video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Mr. E 2099, and I will see you all later.